In this video, I'm going to be ranking all 15 bosses in Ark Survival Evolved from worst to best. Coming in at number 15 is going to be the Megapithecus. This is the giant monkey found on the island, and the reason this is coming in at last place is it's a pretty easy and, just pretty boring boss fight. I mean, I do like the arena and stuff, it's really nice, but all you do is just get a bunch of T-Rexes that are decently high level, you whistle them on there, and then they start attacking. It's not really much skill or any thinking required. You just go in there and then just do the boss fight. So that is why it's coming in at last place. And then coming in at number 14 is going to be the Manticore. This is the one boss found on Scorched Earth, and I do like this one. It flying around is kind of nice, except for sometimes it can be kind of annoying. It's got a torpor attack, so that kind of gives it some more diversity, but it is kind of the same. You just use the T-Rex army, or that's pretty much the best thing you can use. You just send it at it, and then it just sits there and bites at it all the whole time. It's not really much unique boss fighting there. Coming in at number 13 is Modair, the first and only underwater boss in the game. How it works is you go and you attack the minions, and then once you kill the minions, you can go fight the main boss, Modair. Now, this is probably one of the more unique boss fights, as it's got all the new stuff, because it is one of the newer DLC boss fights. But I don't really enjoy it too much, all the underwater mechanics and stuff. And of course, it is underwater boss fight, but I just don't enjoy fighting Modair as much as I do any of the other bosses. Coming in at number 12 is the Ice Titan. This is probably one of my favorite titans to ride around on, but during the fight it is not as fun. It has a few annoying mechanics which I think pull you out of the boss fight, like it just jumping and going to attack random mammoths and stuff like that. That can be really annoying and just pulls you out of the boss fight completely. But other than that, it has some cool unique abilities, like being able to freeze your dinos, and then you can throw ice shards and ice breath and all that stuff you gotta watch out for, which makes it an entertaining fight. Coming in at number 11 is the Forest Titan fight. I don't like this as a Titan as much, but the actual fight I find is more entertaining than the Ice Titan. It has some cool abilities like being able to cover your dinos in trees and all that, and it's pretty tanky as well with all the forest maneuvers it has, which makes it a cool boss fight. And then coming in at number 10 is the Broodmother. This is one of the island fights, and it is more of a simple fight where you have to use the Rexes just to surround it and whatnot, but it does have some cool abilities like being able to spawn a bunch of spiders. It does have some difficulty to it as well. It's not as easy as the Megapithecus or whatever. It can slow down your Rexes with the web attacks, which also makes it quite dangerous, and then with this army of spiders you have to watch out for, as well as the poison breath ability that it has where it shoots out the poison balls, and then that is also something you have to watch out for during this fight. In at number 9 is the Desert Titan. The reason I have this above the other Titans is because I find it more enjoyable fighting it in the air the whole time. It is a really unique mechanic. It is the only boss to be able to just fly in the airs and it doesn't land, which means you have to bring a full army of air troops or air dinosaurs. I like to bring RGs, but you can bring Wyverns or any other things that you can manage to get in here. It's got some unique attacks like lightning and stuff like that. At number 8, I have the Crystal Wyvern Queen. Now this one is the first custom map to have its own unique boss. The other ones would just have mashup boss fights. This one is pretty good because it's in different stages where you first fight off the waves of Crystal Wyverns, then you fight the Crystal Wyvern Queen on its nest, and after that it will start flying up and you have to fight it up from there, so which means you're going to need some air troops to fight it. And then it's got a lot of unique mechanics with all its different breath, and then it's spawning baby wyverns. It just is a really cool boss fight. Coming in at number 7 is going to be the Pithicus King. This is the most recent one coming out with Lost Island. This one is also kind of like the Crystal Wyvern one. It has got a lot of unique stages. It's also got the unique creatures like the Pithicus being carried by the Pseudomacrops, or the Amargasaurus that's got the Pithicus on its back. This one is, I think, easier than the other ones, but it is really unique and fun to fight. Coming in at number 6 is the Dragon. The Dragon is known as one of the hardest bosses in the game, also one of the coolest looking, and it also has one of the best arenas in my opinion. Its fire breath does 20% damage to your dinos, which is one of the main reasons that it's so hard, and in order to bring this you're going to need an army of either T-Rexes or Thylas, or basically whatever you can bring to kill it as fast as you possibly can. It's a really entertaining and good fight just because the difficulty makes it to where you have to use more strategy when you go in. You can't just go in and bring a bunch of T-Rexes. You actually have to think about what you're going to do during the boss fight and make sure that they're all away, as well as you have to kill its Pteranodon and Dimorphodon minions as they come out. You also have to avoid the lava and its fire attacks as well. It also shoots fireballs, which you also have to avoid. So there's just a lot of elements to this boss fight that it makes it really fun. Coming in at number 5 is the King Titan. Now this is probably one of the coolest ideas for a boss fight, but I feel like wasn't executed the best. While fighting it, I mean, it is a really fun boss fight, getting a bunch of people together, or just yourself, getting an army of Gigas and Titans, and then taking this thing down. But I feel like some of the parts of it can be like really weird and wonky sometimes, but that's why it's not higher up on the list, as I think it is a really cool idea. Obviously the King Titan being the final boss and all of that. It's also one of the biggest creatures in the game. Coming in at number 4 is Rockwell. Rockwell is one of the most unique boss fights in the game, where you have to go around and take out the tentacles. The best way to do it is with a rock drake and a shotgun, shooting the tentacles down while you're being chased by Reapers and Nameless. Once you do that, it'll open up his heart, and then you can destroy the heart from there, which will kill him. This boss fight has a great storyline and a great cutscene, making it one of the best boss fights in the game. Coming in at number 3 is the Overseer. Overseer is the final boss fight for the island. It's got a lot of storyline elements. When you first go in, you have to go through the tech cave, and once you're done with that, you're into this little room where you have to go through the entire thing. It's a weird alien spaceship looking type thing where you learn a lot of the lore about Ark Survival Evolved. You see Earth and the obelisks all coming down. Once you get to the very end of it, you'll find a weird room which starts the boss fight. Once you get there, the Overseer will ignite and the room will start to lead up. And then once this has happened, the boss fight has begun. The Overseer will start going around, and you'll have your chance to fight it. It will have a shield block up, and it will spawn in the defense units as well as the turrets above. These are pretty hard things, and then it also has stuns, which will stun you out of your mount, which you have to avoid. And then it will basically transform between the 3 different variants of the island bosses you fought before, which is the Dragon, Megapithecus, and the Broodmother. These are all, once you defeat all 3 of these, it will go back into its normal form. It will go into its normal form between all of them, and then once you defeat that, it will go to the cutscene, which is probably one of the coolest cutscenes in the game. In at number 2 is going to be Rockwell Prime from Genesis Part 2. This was the ending to the Ark storyline and has one of the coolest cutscenes in the game, ending off and going into Ark 2. But the boss fight itself is really unique and really cool. It starts off where you get to fight the tentacles and then kill the Rockwell nodes as it comes out. You can also hear Rockwell and Helena talking throughout the entire thing. And then you use this mech to destroy the Rockwell nodes. You kill the tentacles even more, and then this will bust open Rockwell where you have to actually fight him normally. And then you can see him in his full form. Once you destroy that, it'll let you back into your mech, and then you can just kill him, ending it and going into the cutscene. So this is probably one of the best boss fights in the game. Coming in at number 1 is the best boss in the game, is the Master Controller. I really like this one because it's not like you're just riding on the back of a dinosaur and telling your dinosaurs what to do. This one you actually have to get in on the action with your full weapons and gear ready, fighting off dinosaurs and getting those code keys, because you can't collect the code keys on the back of a dinosaur. So you have to have your army fight off and help you defeat other creatures while they're trying to attack you, as you collect the code keys throughout the entire thing right here. And obviously collecting those code keys is pretty hard because you only get a few, or you can hold a few at a time, and then you put them in the little code key thing, and then that will allow you to teleport to the next stage. There's 3 starting stages, and then you can transform into them, and then the final stage is the hardest because it's got all the gigas and stuff, and you slowly kill the Master Controller. This one I just find to be the most unique and the most fun to play, even though it probably is one of the hardest bosses in the game. That's going to be it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe. But thanks for watching, and bye.